welcome back. You're watching the Power Breakfast Show. Now, about 2 weeks ago, music group Elani came forward explaining to their fans as to why they have been, well, rather they have been in the last year. And the reason was, you know, heartbreaking yet very simple. They were not getting paid for their art, and it left many in shock. This morning, that is a conversation we want to have with Maureen Kunga, Wamboe Ngoge, Brian Cha of Elani, and another artist, Frasha of Unit, who has also been through this before, and we'll try and see what happens next. How are we going to move on from here? So any questions, comments, suggestions that you might have, 22422 is the SMS line, or you can get us on Twitter. The hashtag is Power Breakfast. A very good morning to all of you. Thanks for making time to be here. We've heard your story, Elani. It's been in the news for the last, 2 weeks or so. Frasha, yours is a bit, not that yours is not sad. Frasha, Unit's story is a bit sad because I found out that they were being paid, they were paid 250 shillings for their song Carry. Yeah.
A check.
A check of 250 Wow, wow. Okay, let's for those who are not in the music world, someone explain to us MCSK. Who are they and what's their job?
MCSK is a private company, limited by guarantee, which means the members are the guarantee.
Okay.
So we are the members of MCSK, and its mandate is to monitor, monitor, collect and distribute the funds that are owed to artists through royalties.
So the thing is, the more your song is played, the more money you're supposed to get. Is there a set amount of how much your song is worth?
It all depends with the TV station or radio station, how many times you're played, and then the amount of money that they pay. So they divide that, and then you get a value of the song from a different. So a Kare song can be big in Citizen and not big in a radio station. Okay. Depending on how much they pay at the end of the year.
Okay, so Citizen TV then pays a certain amount, which could be different from another TV station or another radio station. All right. That's how you measure how much you're owed. Now, you've said MCSK is this organization that monitors, collects, and distributes. Monitors. So they're the ones who do the monitoring.
Yes.
Question: do you think as artists you need to be monitoring your work?
We do, and in fact we wouldn't have been here if Elani didn't do that ourselves. Because we realized you can't give me a log that says that in 3 months I played 2-3 times on a major station, when I, in a matatu in a car, I'm hearing myself 2-3 times a day. So we started to now take a proper initiative, focus. Let's figure out how many times on average we are played. And that's when we started to realize that there's a really big issue with the logs that they keep in terms of their monitoring.
And also, when we started MCSK, the whole idea was we have a system whereby the artist can see the back end. Right, so I'm able to see, if you're telling me that the song is played 2 times, can I see the 2 times it's being played? The system that were brought before were not showing this, but at least now we've gotten a new system. Okay.
Frasha, you guys have been in the game as Unit for a very long time. There's some silent argument that, there are those who maybe are being favored by this particular body, and that's why they really don't see the need to come up and talk about the problems that are going on in there. What's your take on that particular?
I think, to me, if there's somebody like that, it's sad, because all musicians right now, there's nobody who's living the way they're supposed to be living if you have a hit song. But there are people who are making money from music. There's guys who are making a lot of money, and they don't know how to sing. They're just in business, So I think if there's an artist that is not for this revolution, because this, maybe it won't help us, but our kids will set up a pace whereby I'm able to tell my kids, listen, you can do music as a career. But as for now, I'm struggling as an artist. I have to do all these other things. Whereas there's money that people are making, and me, I'm not able to.
You're not eating from your your fruits. Elani, you say in the last 1 year you're not able to do anything purely because you were in debt and you were just trying to figure out that whole affair, what was going on in there. Is it in the year that you were out, did you approach MCSK before coming public?
We did.
And what was the response you were given?
When we first went into MCSK's office, that's when we had received a royalty check of 31,000 shillings. And the question then arose, okay, fine, maybe it's 31,000 shillings, but what does it mean? Where did it come from? How is it calculated? So we went into the CEO, Maurice Okot's office to ask. And as soon as we did, the meeting left pretty unresolved. And we went home, and a few days later is when Brian got a phone call offering us 300,000 in compensation. And then, of course, now your eyebrows rise a little higher, because what does that mean? What do you mean in compensation? Why is my compensation 10 times what I was given? And how was that compensation also brought about? So those are the meetings that we had, the questions that we raised, because after the offer was made, we went back into the office with our manager to ask, okay, what does that mean? And again, answers are very shifty, very hazy. So we decided, you know what, we are going to figure it out on our own. We are going to get logs by ourselves and figure out whether this is actually how we're being played. And I mean, because honestly, you lose faith in the institution, so you look to other ways to have the conversation started, which is what we did.
Okay, and we've heard artists over the years saying that they're living comfortably off music, right? And clearly, it looks like it's not MCSK that's doing the job, because I'm assuming it's gigs and and different hustles here and there that from music. So why the need to keep pushing?
I think, first of all, to me, there are 5 pillars in an artist's life. So you can make music, money out of music by 1, doing merchandise, 2, selling your music in terms of downloads and things like that. 3, you can get endorsements. 4, you can get royalties. And 5, I think I forgot it. Gigs, shows. Yeah. So the number 1 place to get your money from is royalties, and there is money in royalties. But us as artists in Kenya, we basically had either an endorsement, shows, and you get one deal with merchandising, then you go back to shows. So most of the time you're just dealing with shows. There's a lot of money in terms of royalties, and if you look at any big artist internationally, they make a lot of money from royalties, not even from the sales, but royalties are the number 1. So
that is where the big chunk comes from. And that's where we have a problem in Kenya, whereby the place where I'm supposed to get the biggest money from is already corrupted, right? And so I'm not, as an artist, I'm struggling. All these years I've been doing music. I left my career because I wanted to do music, because in where I was before, there are set rules and regulations, and there's a step to everything that comes with it. But in music, we have a way of getting money, then there's no steps to me as an artist making the money. There are guys in the middle who are making money. So I think, to me, that's the biggest number 1 place to get money from is royalties. And that's why we're not fighting MCSK, we're just asking questions and trying to make the institution better. We don't want to kill the institution. We wanted to make it better, so that me, Elani, when I started doing music, we have been paid 250. Elani is being paid 31,000. So if you look at that money, there's a little bit of
progress. There's progress,
and that progress is not reflecting on the artist. It's reflecting on other people.
Okay. And let it be known that we invited MCSK. They did not come, but we're still pursuing them, and when they're available, we'll of course be hosting them here on the show. Guys, do you agree with what Frasha has said in regards to
in an industry that is supposed to be working properly? Royalties is the biggest earner, and that's why we are here, because that's our right. That's money owed to us. In industries that make sense, as an artist, you will be able to make so much money because you have a hit song, to the point that you even have money to squander. You get? But that's an opportunity that Kenyan artists are not given. You should be able to, once you have a remember that the whole concept behind the collection and distribution is pay for play. The more you played, the more you paid. So the more you have a popular song, the more you earn. And that's why Frasha is talking about the fact that if you have a hit song, it should impact your lifestyle. And of course the ones that love you, that are around you, will also benefit. But that's how it's supposed to work. So royalties is at the top, and the other 4 are down there. that's why, yes, in as much as we can see some Kenyan artists doing very well, they're still not earning what they're supposed to be earning.
What they should be earning.
Because the top earner is missing.
Okay, and this money that you're getting from MCSK, does it go to your pockets as artists, or is it money you split between, you know, your producers, your...
Every member, when you register a song, you write down who wrote it, who produced it, there's a split sheet.
Okay.
So what happens in this situation is each one of us individually as Elani are members of MCSK.
Okay.
Which means when it comes to songwriting, Wambo, Ngugi, Brian Chwa and Maureen Kunga are written separately on the list. So anyone who's involved in the creation of the song should get money for the song.
Okay.
There are other organizations which is Prisk and Camp, which deal, Prisk is for the performers of the song, the people who played the bass, who played the guitar, etc. And then there's Camp for the music producers as well, just so that there can be more clarity.
Okay.
So it's shared evenly.
Okay. Now guys, we've seen international acts, you know, make big money. And I think that's why sometimes most people go into music, because like, oh, Beyonce is making quite a huge amount of money, and like you said, it's royalties that really drive the amount of money you have in your bank account. On the flip side, Beyonce is not the person who goes to the MCSK to get the money. They have proper channels. They have the managers. They have the PR people. I'm assuming that she has a whole team. She's not the person who goes there physically. In reverse, here in Kenya, it is you people who go. Don't you see the need then to hire people who will be able to do that job for you?
I feel we are the members. You see, at the end of the day, we are the ones in control of our business. If it's going down, we are the ones who get affected most. So yes, we can get all these other people to help, yes, definitely, but it makes more impact for us as individuals, as the members coming on board, because when we have internal problems, we are the ones to fix them. Other guys from outside cannot come in and fix the problems we have.
But there's the argument that, sorry, Frasha, there's the argument that your work is to perform, deliver.
Yes.
Deliver.
And we do.
Then, yes, and you do. Then leave, you know.
And I think that point is very, very important. But with the current crop of artists that are coming up, people need to be very, very informed about what they are doing, why they are doing what they are doing,
and involved,
and very, very involved, because this is the reason why logs are not matching up, because people don't ask the questions. You're just used to me, I'll just perform, I'll just sit in my house, chill, wait for a check. It comes to a point when you actually need to be in control of what you're doing thoroughly, because as Elani, for the longest time we didn't have a manager. We were doing everything by
on your own.
Yeah.
And then also remember that MCSK is a limited company, so it's us members, right? So even if I get a third party, if you're going for elections, the third party will not vote, right? So there's no change in the society. So it's up to us, first of all, to make the change.
Okay, and speaking of change, do you think you need a fellow artist to sit on the board, the MCSK board?
I think...
Sorry. As I said, the company is for artists.
No, I mean, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say, do you see the need to have Elani, Maureen, or Frasha, or Bonai, people who are actually involved in building the Kenyan music industry purely by singing? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get it. But you see, as I said before, it's a limited company, so it has its own rules, right? And so rules say we go for an election. So there's no way we'll appoint Elani or P Unit or Sauti Soul or whoever to go and sit on the board. So guys have to come out, say, listen, Frasha, I want to be elected, so guys vote for me. Guys, if they don't vote for you and somebody else is voted in, then they go and sit on the board. And that's, to me right now, the board is irrelevant. The point about the board members, it's irrelevant. The only problem that we have in MCSK is the systems that are in MCSK, and there are some systems which are working, but people are, taking advantage of them and doing whatever they want. But if you set systems and repercussions, if you don't follow this is what happens to you, then that way, then I can sit home comfortably and say, and the
reason I'm asking that question is because you're all very knowledgeable, and no offense to MCSK, but you're all very knowledgeable. You know what needs to happen and how it needs to happen. But it looks like the people who are in there might not be having a clear indication of how things should be happening, right? That's why I'm asking, you know, do you feel the need to have, and I don't want to say a more exposed person or a more well-read person, but essentially that's what I'm asking.
I think that's in essence why we did what we did.
Yes.
Not only do the members of the board, etc., not only do the management and leadership of MCSK need to be very well informed and very much for the artist, but so do the 11,000 members themselves. And that's why we went out so publicly to say, you know what, this is your right to receive money for XYZ, and each member has to, because the power, like Frasha says, is with the members. So we need members to actively participate in things like AGMs, and when they come into regional meetings, participate and ask questions and make people answer for what they need to answer for. But you can only know that, or you can only ask the right questions if you have the right knowledge. So that's what we're hoping that this, in the very least,
we cannot emphasize how important it is for our members to know their rights, because it's the only way for us to collectively come together to be able to vote for the things that we need to vote for during these AGMs. Because if we don't see the same thing, it just means that we don't know the same thing, and that's where it starts. We need to know the same thing. As members, we need to know our rights, and at that point I believe that will be one of the biggest turning points for our industry, because then we will collectively come together and be able to ensure that all the consequences that have been set in the event that you don't follow a particular rule will happen.
So guys, what do you suggest then is the way forward, you know, for our artists? Because really, at the end of the day, we want to see you guys balling big, you know, driving those big cars, compared to what Uganda is doing in Tanzania.
Everyone needs to get involved.
Everyone needs to get involved.
You need to, there's no other way, you just need to get involved. Knowledge is power.
Okay.
And that's how powerful it is. If you know your rights, you know what you're owed, you will get your money.
You speak out.
You will speak out. Whenever there's a problem, you will voice it out. But if you don't know, you won't ask. And very many people who are sitting at home, who are upcoming artists, who want to take music as a career, just can't make even a statement because they just don't know. And it is their right, it's provided for in the Constitution. No one is above the Constitution.
True.
You know, and the government protects whatever we have. So don't be scared to voice it out. It's your right, it's owed to you. So get to know.
To me, I think first of all, the way forward, first of all, is to cut middlemen from deals. We have a big deal, which is a SKIZA deal, which has been going on for a long time. And what we're saying as artists is that we just want SKIZA money to go to the CMOs, and CMOs give us the money.
What are CMOs?
Collecting
management.
MCSK, pre-SK. Okay. Because there's this, it's like we are not fighting MCSK. We say it's a good thing that MCSK is there. Can they just work properly? If the people running it are not able to run it for now, can they step aside and they let people who can be able to do the job do the job? Two, we need artists to come together. We've been having a lot of meetings trying to get, because there are so many groups of artists, trying to get one umbrella body for all the artists.
That's what I'm thinking.
So that we can be able to speak on one voice. So that's the other step that I think that should. But the last and not least is we must make noise about MCSK. If they're not doing the right things, we've sat in many meetings, you know, they've promised to do things, they never do it, and it's time for action. I said, we've been talking, we've been having meetings with everybody, and it's, you know, it's time has come whereby we now need people to see action. If you're not performing, toka kazi. Wacha mtu mwingine akuje afanye kazi. All these guys, we have lawyers who are musicians. We can sit on the board of they can work in MCSK. You know? So I think it's about time that we start seeing action. We start seeing change in artists.
Okay, but let me ask you guys. And you're speaking about change in artists, and it comes, you know, to the mindset of a particular person. Now, excuse me, you're very vocal, right? And you want everyone to come and be under this umbrella, but then Kiriba is like, you guys go ahead and do it, and I'm fine. You know, I have my resident gig at place X. I'm fine. I'm getting my 15,000 bob every week. How do you plan to change that person's mindset? Because really, by informing them. And have you started doing that? Have you started doing that?
We're really looking into doing that. This has been a journey for us as well. The more we speak out, the more we learn, and the more we identify the very important things that must change for us to be able to see the overall change. And I cannot emphasize how important it is for artists to know their rights, and that's where it begins. But you're aware of the fact that there are those who will tell you we're fine. Yes.
And you see also, it's also the responsibility of the CMOs, the MCSKs, the PRISC and the CAMs to educate the members. The you that think, you know, Nikosawa, I don't want to do it. It's up to them, first of all, to educate you so that you can be able to ask questions, because it's your money at the end of the day. It's our money that pays all these CMOs, right? And the reason why we pay them for their salaries so that they are able to live in houses that we don't live in, drive cars that we don't drive, is for them to be just proactive, a bit more proactive, and tell the artists, listen, you can actually earn more by doing 1, 2, 3 things. These are new avenues that you can use to get money. You can get royalties from other countries by doing 1, 2 or 3 things. That being proactive is what you're saying MCSK is not doing. So can we see more action from MCSK? Can you see results from MCSK? And PRISC and CAMP are fine for now, but MCSK is still lagging behind.
It's the one that's dragging.
And they should be having strategies as a company, right? They should be having, because they operate just like any other company. Yes, they should have strategies, they should have goals, and they should have KPIs, and they should be like, by this time we should be making this amount because we'll be earning more from collecting from the broadcasting area, you know. These are the kind of conversations they should be having within MCSK, as we on our end are getting to know more about our rights. So at the end of the day, we are all just, you know,
learning. It needs to be a learning experience for all of you. Okay, we're coming to the end, and you know, so fine, yeah, guys. Frasha, we've not had you sing in a long time. Elani, you guys have been quiet for a year. Does that mean we won't hear from you guys until you get your 3 million?
No, not at all.
I'm singing new songs. I did 10 songs last year. Okay, if you're not listening to radio, already I have another 2 songs out in January.
No, but before you answer that question, of course we have to ask you, P-Unit?
P-Unit has been together. I don't know why everybody asks me that question, that where is P-Unit?
Yeah, where's P-Unit? Are you still a member of P-Unit?
We are members of P-Unit. Back today, the airport took him as a, so P-Unit is still together. Bona, we've been doing like solo projects. Gabu has his own projects. I've been doing my own projects. Bona is doing his project of Liam Toto. He's been in the UK. He got a baby boy, so he's trying to raise, he's trying to raise his boy. But he's coming back in February, and you know, P-Unit will be back.
Oh, you'll be back.
P-Unit will always be there. And yeah, we're in studio always.
All right. Elani?
I mean, same thing. We're in the studio all the time. In fact, we were
so for that 1 year when you tell us you've been silent, it's not that you've been silent.
It's not that you've been silent. You know, you keep working and hope that by the time you want to release something, at least I can have something to show for the fact that I am aware when my song plays. Like Frasha says, I should know. When my song plays, it should reflect almost immediately on a website somewhere that your song has played, you know. And those are the kind of things that we want to fix. We will not necessarily wait until MCSK is 100% perfect for us to release music, because at the end of the day, the fans are the ones who brought us where we are, and we would be nothing without them. So of course music is on the way.
And also when you say we're silent, we're doing other things. It's not all about music. Like me, I do a lot of charities. I've been doing charities around the country. I've been in Turkana, Kisumu, Nairobi,
that one I know.
Katangi. You get so it's not like it's, for me as an artist, it's only releasing songs and it's over. There's other aspects that I'm also impacting the
community. Guys, in the dailies today, we're seeing the article of bongo music making its way back, you know, into Kenya. There's a while we had gone South Africa, and then we went to West Africa, and now we've gone back to Tanzania. I'm just wondering, do you see yourselves as artists getting to that point where we will wake up and say Kenyan music has taken off. It has taken off, yes, but we'll stop the heavy reliance of other countries' musicians for our music scene?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. We have a lot of talent in our country. What just needs to happen is for the artists to be encouraged to reinvest back into their business. And this can only happen once we sort out our revenue streams. When that happens, then I'm encouraged to sing because my song is making it big, and not only is it making me popular, but it's making sense to my pocket.
Yes.
So that encourages me to invest more into my music, therefore releasing better videos, and therefore the outside will definitely notice what is happening within Kenya.
Yes.
And at that point, then you will have an answer to your question.
Okay. Frasha, you took a sit back when I asked that question. Do you agree or do you disagree? I noticed that.
You know what? I just thought when she said like reinvest, I was wondering reinvest in you don't have anything now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get so.
Yeah.
I think first of all is we just need to settle our industry first.
Okay.
The same way you're talking about Kenyan music here in Tanzania, when you go they're saying Kenyan music is taking over here. They're not happy at the bongo flavor inaendelea hapa. They also wondering, how come P-Unit have been played here? How come Elani music is in Tanzania?
Yes.
So there's always that revolution of music, and if you look at Kenya especially, there's been Lingala, there's been Sukus, what came to Bongo went, Nigerian music came, and all South African music came, Bongo music is coming back, but always at the baseline there's always Kenyan music.
There's a Kenyan sound.
There's always a Kenyan sound.
Okay, and something has just come up. I'm just wondering, when your music is now played in other countries, do you get paid for that?
That's another
question we have.
We're supposed to be.
Because we have, as MCSK, we got feedback that they pay Diamond a lot of money. They pay Nigerian artists royalties, but we don't get anything back. So that's a question we pose to them, and we'll just wait for their response.
I think first of all it's important, and I'd like to inform, because us as artists, just being you're not okay with just being a member of MCSK. You need to register outside. You get from other collecting bodies so that MCSK can collect for you. Because if you're not registered there, even if your music is played then there's nowhere to go and ask, at Impeni Pesayet. The reason why Diamond is paid from Kenya is because he's registered here. And he's like, my song is being played in Kenya, can I have my royalties? So we also need to go into their countries and get registered, so that, not even in Tanzania, in the UK, our music is being played.
Yes,
so you need to register and then ask our CMO, please go and collect our money from this place and bring it back.
Okay, so that you agree is a personal responsibility on the artist to make that move, to go to, you know your song is big in Tanzania, run there, your song is big in the States, run there, register yourself, and then from there come back and tell the bodies to collect the money for you. Alright. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure having you, and we wish you all the best, really. Hopefully we will hear new music from you guys soon. Okay, you.
Come to my show on the 30th at Club Marabu. It's on Highway Mall.
Okay.
Hapo karibu na Nakumatt Mega.
Sasa uko na show.
Umeingia sasa marketing kidogo.
You guys,
big things are coming.
Songs. When concerts, gigs, songs first, concerts after. Okay, songs first. Stab your ears. Okay. We're waiting. We've been waiting.
And new P-Unit Elani song.
Oh, new P-Unit Elani. That collabo that's just been born here.
Called Power Breakfast.
Alright, guys. Thank you very much, and we wish you all the best on this journey. And like you said, please go out and inform and educate your other, your fellow artists, so that at the end of the day, I can find you and you buy me tea.
I can buy you tea.
Okay, yeah. But now. All the best. You're watching the Power Breakfast Show. We'll be right back.